Front pages of Nigerian newspapers this Thursday morning to see what the headlines will be, and we'll return quickly for analysis of what we will be seeing. The Nation newspaper, we are beginning this morning on election, and the matter here is Tinubu's victory in 2027 sure, says Abdul Mumin. All right, this seems like a very strong confidence on that. On economy this morning, the Daily Independent is talking, the reforms by President Bola Tinubu. Nigeria respected globally with stable economy. That is quoting the president right about there. And opposition is not responding. APC opposition clash over federal government's revenue growth plan. That is on the Punch newspaper this morning, as we quickly make our way to this Nigeria, where we will be seeing this issue of boat mishap. This is something we really need to dig into. Sad day in Niger as dozens die in fresh boat tragedy. This is really, really, really sad. I'm trying to really understand why this is a consistent occurrence, but we'll talk. Let's get to security matters right about now as we go to the Blueprint newspaper to see what they have right here. Nigeria naps 5,000 suspects, secures 77 convictions, recovers 360 firearms. This is bordering on terrorism in the country. And the Daily Times is where we're also going to see another matter right about there. Yes, and we see right here, DSS arraigns 9 suspects over Benue and Plateau killings. Sad one right there, but good victory as well. The Daily Trust is also coming on board on this. I can end banditry in 2 months. This is quoting Governor Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State. We will talk to see exactly what the governor was saying about that. The Leadership newspaper is where we're going to next. And right here, Northern elders to Tinubu declare emergency on insecurity in the north. Okay. The Guardian newspaper is also coming on this. Federal government reopens debate on state police as Tinubu declares readiness. About time we resolve this and have a headwind. But let's shift now to health matters, as we see right here on the platform Times this morning. Obasanjo, Abdul Salami, Jonathan seek urgent reforms in Nigeria's health sector. We saw some of the scorecard reeled up by the president, I think a day or two ago. We'll talk about that. And on immigration, as we move to the Nigerian News Direct, leaving Nigeria through illegal migration is voluntary suicide. This is quoting NITCOM. Of course, we just talked about that. We'll delve into it again. And finally, the sporting life this morning, ladies and gentlemen. We see right here, beat Rwanda and South Africa, and you get the job done. To whom was this referred to? We'll tell you when we come back to the analysis. But Toma, the Nation newspaper is talking assurance of President Tinubu's re-election come 2027. How sure is this?
I remember what Ibrahim said some days back. Said politicians are incurable optimists.
Exactly.
All right?
Exactly.
It looks that way. It sounds that way. The things we are seeing around the political scene points towards that direction. So it's a safe claim that he has made. And I also want to underline the optimism behind that statement too.
Well, indeed. And Ria, to some of the things we just discussed a few minutes ago, the president is saying, or rather, one of the things we'll talk about, the president is saying that the world now respects Nigeria because we're now economically more stable than ever before.
I think the world has always respected Nigeria. We are the giants of Africa, so I don't even want to say that the world just now respects Nigeria. Nigeria has always stood tall. The president has been making a lot of statements about the economy being stable, and like we said yesterday, people are like, oh, it's not true, this is happening, that is happening. But at the end of the day, the work of opposition is to always talk. I saw you were reading something something by opposition saying that it's not true. That is their work. Their work is to criticize. Their work is just to be there. Because if they're not criticizing, then what are they doing? But we can see steps that the president is taking to make sure that the economy is stable. When the economy is stable, that's when it can grow. You know, so now we are celebrating the stability of the economy for it to grow. All we can ask for right now is for faster growth, to see it happening fast, for the pockets of the less privileged to be felt.
That's right. Every other Nigerian should also be impacted by this. But Ibrahim, speaking of opposition's reaction to this, the Punch newspaper, APC, opposition clash over federal government's revenue growth claim. Check this out. Present counterfacts. Presidency tells critics, revenue nothing without results. Opposition. What do you think about this?
Yes, if the government is making a claim and the opposition is saying that the claim the president or the incumbent has made is not true, there is the burden of proof upon you to say that, yes, what you've said is not true, and then you come with your own statistics. So they were saying that the president saying that there is no more borrowing assertion amid 13 trillion naira deficit. But then we all know that states are getting more allocations than they used to get, you know, since the removal of fuel subsidy. And then this is not the president even saying it. He just started talking about it. Okonjo-Iweala was in Nigeria recently. She talked about the stability of the Nigeria's economy.
That's right.
You know, praising the president for, you know, ensuring that the economy is stable. We've had people from the IMF saying the same thing about Nigeria's, you know, giving different prognoses about Nigeria's, you know, stability of the economy. So if one thing is Nigeria's economy has been, you know, nosediving, hemorrhaging for a long time, and then what we need is stability. And I love what Thomas said yesterday. After this stability, what else do we expect? Growth. So, but you need a pedestal or a platform to stand on first before you spring up, and that is where we are now. So what we need to see is create more jobs. Agricultural produce, you know, should be enhanced, and fight insecurity, because without that, we will still be having the issue of, economy, or the result of the economic growth not getting to the grassroots. So there is a whole lot that needs to be done. But the president needs to also, the administration needs to, you know, put things in place for us to feel it at the grassroots.
And part of the things that we do not want to see any longer, so that our economy on the waterways is safe, Etoma. As I take you to this Nigeria, is this matter in Niger State. 29 fared killed, many sustained severe injuries. Recurring mishaps expose weak safety enforcement of our waterways. What is going on in Niger State?
I was telling somebody this morning, I said, Governor Bago has to sit down and say, does it have to do with me? Why is everything happening around us, around me, but they are not positive things that are happening? We've heard too many boat mishap in Niger State. Mokwa is in Niger State. It is always one thing or the other. I think it is time that he stops the politics and does the work.
That's right.
Look, the waterways have issues. We have ecological problems here. These are two things that you can concentrate, give 100% attention for 1 month. With the executive powers you have, with the resources at your disposal, you will make a difference. All we need, or all you need, is for you to say, these are the things I'm going to face head on. You know, what is it about boat mishap always in Niger State? It's beginning to sound like a broken record.
And I think exactly the governor needs to do something. A lot is happening from Mokwa, just like he said, and now we're looking at this happening. And guess what? This is not the first time the boat has collapsed. In Niger.
It's not.
It goes over and over again. I remember we spoke about it, that these people that even go on this boat, so they wear their life jackets. You know, some of them, they're just on this boat like that. They don't even, the safety of the boat is wrong. Some of them, the boat is overcrowded. You put more people on the boat than the boat can take. What will happen at the end of the day? So I feel like even, apart from looking at the waterways, safety of the boats, are the boats even in good condition to be on the water? These things need to be looked at, and I think it's high time the governor needs to do something to it, because a lot is happening around him and it's getting too much.
And to think that these people were going to offer condolence to,
can you imagine? Can you imagine?
In Bogu local government.
What an irony.
You understand? So about 20 something of them,
29.
90 of them in the boat.
And Ibrahim, I tell you, some of them, they are on that boat without, and that's what pains me the most.
All of them, none of them.
That's what pains me the most. And how do you get on a boat without your life jacket? Make it make sense. How?
Mine is that the whole of that sector in Niger State must be looked at seriously. All right? The boats that are plying those rivers have to be checked and cleared.
Right.
And the tree stop that they hit, you know,
everybody needs to put on their life vest.
They need to clear the waterways too, you know.
Well, Ibrahim, let me take you to the Blueprint newspaper. You know, you talked about making sure the economy is safe by way of security. But look at this. Terrorism, Nigeria naps 5,000 suspects, secures 775 convictions, recovers 360 firearms. It looks to me like a self-appraisal being done right here. This is a good way to go, don't you think?
Yes, and proliferation of light weapons in the country, especially across Africa. Talk about Libya and Sudan, where you're having crises, South Sudan and all of those countries. They're having them trickling down to this country, the Sahelian region, where we have the coup, going on. So all of these interconnected, causing more insecurity to the people. So look at the convictions that have been secured by the Nigerian Security Agency. So one thing we need to see is that we should sustain this onslaught on these bandits, terrorists, and what have you, so that whatever it is that we want to do at the end of the day, we are able to say, yes, we have stamped out insecurity. If not 100%, then it should be 99.9. With that, we'll have growth in our economy. We have people going to their beds at night with their two eyes closed. Yeah. That is if they want to sleep soundly.
And Ria, let me take you to the Daily Times. It's also still talking about insecurity, to tie to what Ibrahim just talked about. There's another matter here I'd like you to discuss this morning. National Library, Nigeria's intellectual heritage must not depend on charity. ADC is telling the First Lady. Now, she's been really involved in making sure that, should I say, a national library and our intellectual properties, is secured. And this is very important because we need to be able to preserve knowledge so that the younger generation can come in and drink of that wealth. That's a good thing to do.
That's a fantastic thing to do. And due to the fact that a lot of our youth do not like to read, that is a problem. How many people even go to the library to check books? When she made that statement, a lot of conversations on social media, but you can see that it's for a good cause. If you don't want to put the money, don't put the money. Somebody is saying, don't give me the money, take it to the National Library. At the end of the day, it will benefit all of us.
Exactly.
But you see the thing with Nigeria, when a person in power is asking for something, then they automatically think, oh, why should you ask for something? But she's not telling you to give me to put it in her pocket. She told you to contribute better for it. And I feel like if we all put money into something, we'll appreciate it better, because where your money is, you will now know how to take care of that thing better. So with that story, I really agree with it. Reading, the more you read, the more you get wiser, the more you understand life better. But now the problem we face is that our youth don't even want to read. So when you talk about library, they don't even care about the library.
Anachuma, can I put this to you as well? With what happened in Cross River, the library in Cross River was like a monument, an edifice of pride, if I would say that. Yeah. It dilapidated, now it's been revamped. The importance of what that library did to me, especially when I was in secondary school, I mean, what we're talking about here is knowledge.
Libraries are like Mecca to people that want to learn.
That's right.
Now, the instructive phrase there is people that want to learn. Well, do our children want to learn the way we were seeking knowledge those days? And you want to say social media is the case and all that, but they say if you don't want a black man to know something, put it in a book. So our libraries now are changing. The Cross River State Library, the one you mentioned, is changed. There's a department that's digital, where things are done, where children will go there and just watch what they are supposed to read. You get? So if a problem exists, a solution. My father will say a problem is a solution that's waiting to be discovered, and it's fantastic.
Indeed. The Daily Trust this morning, ladies and gentlemen, there's a picture story right there that really caught my attention. The president is in the middle, winged by mostly PDP governors. Now, why I'm saying so is because, sometimes, I don't know, when we hear statements from opposition, it will seem as though they are fighting in gloves behind the scenes. They are not.
Let me tell you something. the citizens will be fighting themselves. For these two people, they are drinking tea together. And when I see somebody fight, I'm like, guys, these people are okay. Well, at the end of the day, politics is politics. Nobody is your enemy forever. Your enemy today may be your friend tomorrow.
Right.
They actually went to, meet up with the president, regarding the insecurity in Zamfara state. You can see boldly written ahead above the picture where the governor of Zamfara state, saying that he can end banditry, and which is true because they do not control. But can he,
in the short time that he stated?
They do not control the security apparatus of the country. Yeah. So imagine sitting in your office and then you're able to see everything because they have this CCTV that works very well. So they do not. The thing is, they monitor what happens in the state. I tell you, they know where these bandits are.
So why are they not sending? Why are they not doing anything?
Because they only have to get a directive from Abuja, so to speak, before they strike.
So why have they not gotten the directive then?
So that's a question we need to be asking.
If you know where the people are.
No, because the security is not decentralized.
It has to be decentralized.
Don't control security agencies.
Which is where the state police...
Exactly, and the president has actually promised, state police. So we do not want it to be promise upon promise. Let's have it on the ground because these bandits, these terrorists are not waiting for you
Ibrahim, we've been speaking about state police for the longest time. For the longest time, we're always talking about it. And at the end of the day, we do not see it happening. So I saw on one of the papers this morning that it's saying that the president is now ready for it. And also, Ibrahim, I feel like if we know where these people are, with the rate of insecurity, the rate of people dying, I feel like actions need to be taken. It's not just about talk. Right. At this point, it's not talk is small talk to me. What are the actions taken? What is happening?
Do you know the guns that these people wield? RPG, using it to... They will face you with RPG. You are still carrying
it. Hold on. Yes, you see, I can understand the governors of our state's frustration. You have daily security reports. These security report pinpoints the information that you need to cripple this thing.
Of course.
But you don't have any power over the security architecture of the country. And for you to get an approval, it has to go through some processes, red tapeism and all that. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. We have to decentralize security in Nigeria. It's non-negotiable anymore.
And it's high time those processes become faster.
Indeed. And Toma, the Leadership newspaper is also talking the same matter, but in a different light. Northern elders are asking the president to declare a state of emergency and insecurity in the north.
Because if you declare state of emergency, red tapeism goes.
That's right.
The focus is 100% on security. Yeah. So whatever, and if Mr. President says, Oga, you know the terrain, go ahead and do the needful. I'm telling you, that man will cripple this thing in 2 months as he promised. All he needs is just the power.
Of course.
So what are we waiting for? Let's give him the power then. What are we waiting for, please?
I tell you
if he has said in just 2 months, he can do it. Because it's not as if Zamfara is safe too as well. There are some places that are not safe there.
Zamfara is going through serious
banditry. So at this point, please let him be given all the power. Let's not
it doesn't work that way. That's what we're talking about.
Ibrahim, if you can answer this is on the Guardian newspaper. The federal government reopens debate on state police as the president declares readiness. No matter the insecurity challenge going on in any part of our country, if we have the power, the executive power at the state level to handle those matters immediately, then we would be safe or safer.
Yes, the debate has been going on for a long time. And then we know that the issue of state police is not something that you can do overnight. There had been, what's it called? This bills, moving from one state to the other. Some governors said yes, they are in support. Some governors even abstained. They didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Others decided to say, okay, we did not even support it.
There was also an hearing with the civil societies, who was given a hearing on the floor, to come, and they made their own, even lawyers, I think, as well, they made their own presentation as to what they think. The greatest fear, Ibrahim, is that this agencies might be turned into political tools.
Yes, so that's where I'm going. So the fear there is if governors begin to control the security apparatus, especially of their state, they might be using it against their opposition. Sometimes during elections, they always accuse the federal government of militarizing our elections and then trying to scare the opposition away but that is not the case. But one thing is, the overall goal is for us to be able to go to our beds at night, go to our farms, and cultivate the grass and all of that, and then ensure that we have yields at the end of the day. So if we see that the current security architecture that we're running doesn't work, then what we need to do is to ensure that we fast track, not debate any longer, they fast track the creation of state police for different states. They're having a miniature of it. We have the Amotekun, we have the Ebubeagu, we have the different ones, but how far-reaching are they? Because they still need to work in tandem with the national
Let us look
security.
at other countries who do not have a centralized policing system.
Yeah, US for example.
They have better results. The United States, Germany, even England.
Yeah.
You know, they have better results. Somebody was telling me that half of the population of the United States of America are connected to security in one way or the other, you know, and that is the best way to secure your land. The state policing thing is, to me, is not debatable. You know, you are going to employ people that know the terrain. They are, see, if a new person gets into my village, for example, gets noticed in 2 minutes.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
You know.
Now, so now imagine we having a police structure that is local. We will know all these people very fast. We will catch them very fast.
And you know, just to add to this quickly, when we often say that, oh, state police, some politicians, some governors will use them as a tool, and I'm like, any governor that does that will be very shameless, because you know that these people are for the security.
Well, then the law should be put in place. If you do that, you should be sanctioned.
Exactly, you should be sanctioned, because you know that this state police is not for you; it's there for the security of the people.
My take towards that. Sorry, before you go to the next paper, my take towards that is that let it happen first. Let us see the ugly head, and we know how to solve it.
Well, I couldn't agree more. But the Nigerian News Direct this morning, ladies and gentlemen, is talking about this Libya matter. I think we've quite dealt with that. So let's move on to the Platform Times, rather. That was the Platform Times. Let's move to the the Platform Times, please. And this is on health. I'm seeing right here, Obasanjo, Abdul Salami, Jonathan are seeking urgent reforms in our health sector. Now, on the Blueprint newspaper I saw earlier, the president orders mandatory health insurance for NDAs. So whilst they are clamoring for reforms, the president is also working.
Yes, so we can't rise, just as we can't rise above the quality of teachers, talking about education. If the health sector is not fixed, then there is still a problem, because everything is tied to one another. This is really affecting not just us, the youth, the women, the children, who are the future of tomorrow. So imagine malaria, which is the deadliest that we ever have, killing people way more than HIV and AIDS. And the variants that we have, the Anopheles mosquitoes, the dengue fever, which is now getting to some parts of Africa, and some other issues that we're facing. Just malaria alone is taking lives. Imagine 200,000 persons died. I don't know, is it in a month or in a year? I can't remember that the quotation of that statistic, but about 200,000 of them. I am AA with a very, I don't know, maybe weak strain, because any bite from malaria, it's a problem. So I have to treat one after the other. So if we have a very strong and viral healthcare, and closer to us, because a whole lot of people have to trek, to these hospitals that are not even adequate enough to treat what is going on in the field.
I just want to even speak about being
adequate
adequate enough. We're speaking about malaria. Let's talk about accident victims, that you take them to hospitals and there are no beds. Some people die just because there's no doctor to treat them.
Immediately.
Just no beds, nothing. When you go to this hospital, Nelson, sometimes you're scared. I went to a hospital the other time, and right now I have the phobia of going to hospital because of the way I was treated. Some of the people that are even there do not even know how to talk to a sick person. There's no compassion, there's nothing. Once they're tired, because they're overdrained as well. So they put on that bad energy on you that is sick. So I feel like let's forget the messenger and take the message that he has put out. Our health is something that we really need to look into it. Just as education is important, health as well is very important, because the more people die, the more there's nobody in the country.
The rider here says, that's talking about the headline of Obasanjo, Abdul Salam and Jonathan seeking for reforms. The rider says, back digital solutions to end medical tourism. That medical tourism we're talking about here, I'm thinking charity has to begin at home.
Yes.
If you want it to be stopped, you stop.
I think 2 days ago, I was talking about medical tourism. And the irony of medical tourism is that the Nigerian government official goes to India for medical tourism, and he's being treated by a Nigerian doctor.
And they respect
So
the
that
Nigerian doctor more.
it underscores the need for us to face our medical sector in Nigeria. Look, we're having some very good hospitals coming up now in Nigeria. However, it's a little bit expensive for the common man. So the Nigerian government has to step in and do what we call serious subsidizing of health delivery system. So when Mr. President says MDAs should have health insurance, I'm saying, so all this while they didn't have.
Let me just add something to this. I feel like we don't also respect our own. Just like what Etoma said, you see a Nigerian doctor abroad, you respect him better than you respect the one that you see here. That is, and I don't know what is the reason.
Sure, you just talked about
that's
it,
just
they
the
treated you badly.
That's the fallout of it.
They didn't treat me well. Why would I respect you?
That's the fallout of it.
Or something.
The thing is, I keep seeing 57 trillion naira on newspapers, 32 trillion naira. Nigeria gained so and so trillion naira. Nigeria, where are the trillions? Put some of these trillions in health care.
It's not just about roads.
But remember
what our states also do.
Exactly what I was going to Ibrahim.
Because the primary healthcare
primary healthcare is very important.
Key. You know, make it affordable, make it easier for people to have access to. Because
remember Imo State Governor has jacked up the salaries for healthcare workers, and I said here on one of the programs I anchored, that if I was a medical worker, I know where to go get a job.
But the citizens first.
But you see, jacking up, sorry, Brian, jacking up the salaries is not enough. What you need to do is sanitize the sector.
That's right.
Invest seriously in the sector.
Yeah.
Let our medical sector be comparable to countries like the United States, to Germany, to England. Let's have that to India. Let's have that. Let's get our medical sector so good that the Nigerian, the average Nigerian or the Nigerian politician wouldn't even think of traveling.
We can make sure our health sector is very viral. When we tap from the knowledge that our youth have, because this is actually happened during the launch of a digital healthcare system, Care 365. That's where the former president spoke. So we have our youths that they are tech savvy, but they use this knowledge towards internet fraud and all of that. So they can train them, deploy them, so much so that we'll digitize our healthcare sector, our healthcare system, and you'll be able to connect people to different hospitals that we treat, that has, ailment specific. All those special hospitals.
Yes.
So these are the things that we need. So education is still the fundamental.
But Brian, also, when we have these youths that are very intelligent, that are tech savvy, we also need to pay them well. I always say it all the time. I have doctor friends that some of the times they started off very good, but the way they are treated, the way the healthcare is, some of them don't even get paid on when they're supposed to be paid. Any human being will definitely decline. So another thing we need to look at is to make sure that these people are paid properly. Now, why do these doctors go? Because they make more money abroad. So if you are paying them well and they can be in Nigeria, treat Nigerians, trust me, most of them will not go.
I believe that if the government focuses on the health sector, improving the health sector, this will be taken care of. Talking about harnessing the tech savvy of our youth in Rwanda. They are delivering medications via drones. They have via drones. So the outpatient side of health delivery in Rwanda is top notch because you get it straight from the hospital. You get prescribed drugs from the hospital, and it is delivered straight to your home via drones. And
let me take you back to the Nigerian News Direct. There's something a bit that I saw there on the governor of Lagos State second anniversary. He has slashed the blue line by 50%. When I saw this, I thought, maybe I should park sometimes.
And your car will come and meet you.
This is reduced fare. If I park sometimes, I'll save my fuel, and then 50% slash. That's like a free journey, to and fro the office. This is,
maybe you should extend it also to BRT buses. Majority of Lagosians use the BRT buses. And they cover a larger spectrum of the state.
It actually is.
Yes.
As
So
well.
if he does another 50% slash
You
of
see,
BRT
Oliver Twist
charge,
always asking for more. But I think generally the governor of Lagos State is very, when it comes to transportation, he's been doing well. We definitely have to give that to him. And I love the fact that he's seeing the cries of the people and he's slashing it, because most of the times people cannot even afford transportation. And now we have a real line that, he's slashing by 50%. Etoma, you're asking for more. Oliver Twist, 100%.
No, we should
they take
always
half
ask
of it.
for more.
You are still
Beyond
asking
that.
for more. But I think that BRT too as well, because a lot of people, go on BRT. So I think it should be.
Nelson, beyond that, I saw a video making the rounds. I don't know why it's not really making the news. There is a park in Abuja, Hope Park.
I was about getting there.
Exactly, where
Yeah.
people will travel from Abuja to any other part of the country for free. It is not that
Really?
it is yes, sponsored by the president.
Yes.
Our
Sponsored
Prime
by the
Minister,
president?
of course.
Oh, wow.
So people travel for free, coming from Abuja to any other place, and then you see luxury buses. You see,
Ibrahim,
other
what
buses
this
around.
makes me understand, Nelson, is that the good news, we don't like to say it. Honestly speaking,
Of course,
but if it's
of
something
course.
bad, you see everywhere in the middle. Like you're saying, is where people are not really talking about it. But
should
imagine,
be,
it should go fast. Imagine free transportation for people that want to go around. Because one of the reasons that limits people from moving from one point to another, hey, I don't get transport money. My transport money is not enough.
There's something else I want us to look at here. This is on the Daily Independent, my people, this morning. Remember, some time ago on this table, we had a conversation on loan apps. The fraudulent activities that happens through that. Hopefully, the federal government listens, because look at this. Federal government begins enforcement of regulation to address loan app harassment. This looks like some good news.
Oh, very good news. And I love the fact, we had Maridoti. He was the one that spoke about it, and he gave us all the energy. And sometimes you look at these loan apps, at the end of the day, people have committed suicide because of this loan app. I remember I asked him a question. I was like, why do people take loans? We look at the hardship of the economy. In one way or the other, you will owe. Just like Etoma said, you have to owe. Etoma, I'm sure you've taken loan in one point of your life.
is there anybody that's not owing? I mean,
Yeah, you have to
Nigeria.
put him on the spot.
I mean, what are you talking about?
No.
You said that in the other time. I said I wasn't
He
owing.
said he wasn't owing.
I'm still not owing.
He said he's still not owing. But everybody owes. And at the end of the day, it was just so bad to see that even it was some of these Chinese people that come to make sure that they put you in a circle where you keep taking money and you cannot pay. So I'm happy that the government is looking into this. And Nelson, that's to take me back to the point that when it's good news, we don't really get to speak about it. Like, look, there's a follow-up. We're seeing that the government has said that this is what is happening and they're trying to treat. I think that, but we're doing a great job. We're speaking about it. But I think that more times this has to go out more, that cries are being heard.
Yeah, it's the nature of news. Good news doesn't sell as much as bad news.
But it should.
So you see, bad news. I mean, everybody will. But for good news, you have to pay for everybody to talk about that kind of stuff.
Right,
but it's the nature of news. But I just thank God that. Finally, the government is interested in this, because let me tell you, yes, maybe the loan apps are doing what they are doing and so on and so forth, and embarrassing so many people, calling them all sorts of names and getting other people to feel that this person is an armed robber when the person is not. And at the same time, your late charges are
they started doing this very scary one that'll be threatening you. They'll start texting your friends that you're a thief. They started doing that scary one.
I even find it funny. I even find it funny.
Calling your friends.
I find it funny when I hear that some people are called and then they are lambasted, they are cursed, they will put your names, they'll shame you and all of that. I'm like, is this supposed to even be a bank in the first place? It's supposed to be, someone who be a player in the financial sector.
But there's another matter here, Brian, I'd like us to also talk about. Still on the Daily Independent, INEC and NIMSI are strengthening ties to streamline voter identity registration. This is really important because sometimes you then get to the polling unit, you want to vote, and there's wahala of identifying whether you're Okonkwo or you
or Nelson.
Or you're Achebe.
or you're Achebe,
Yeah. So that's the thing. We've been clamoring for what's it called, sharing of data among government agencies.
That's
Imagine that you have to always go to INEC, register year in, year out, year in, year out. We understand the people that are just coming up, but with this data sharing between INEC and NIMC, then we want to see efficiency, we want to see effectiveness in terms of identification, and also people being able to
let's now get down to the sporting life right now. Oh, I hear we have to take a break now and move on, but I'll have to thank you guys for riding with me.